All right, going into the movie news of the week, the biggest story, maybe the biggest story, I don't know how you want to count it, but there's Final Destination news out there into the world for the Final Destination 6, Final Destination reboot. Same thing with Scream, we don't know.
No, dude, that fucking burp, dude. God damn, that Rheingeist is riding shit in my fucking mouth.
Shit. The writers who were actually involved with Halloween Returns, that awesome fucking script that we never got to see happen, Patrick Melton and Marcus Dunson were tapped to do a reimagining of the Final Destination series. So basically, the way I take it is, they're just gonna do a Final Destination movie. I don't know what they're gonna name it. Probably what they should do is not name it Final Destination or name it Final Destination 6, but name it Final Destination like your wiener hurts or something. Give it a subtext.
Final Destination, my fire's not out.
And then just have a new crew of people and then just have the same shit start happening to it. But it's not actually Patrick or Marcus that are talking about this. It is the producer Craig Perry and series creator Jeffrey Reddick who were interviewing about it. And yeah, that's what they said. They said that they're gonna take it and they're gonna rely on using EMTs, firemen, and police as their main characters because they know what to do in a crisis. And you can have your characters have specific talents in this. If they do that'll make sense in that world.
I like the idea that the fact that the first responders, because they even mentioned the fact that these guys have to make life and death decisions all the time, and they're basically fighting against death, but now death is coming at them specifically. That's a great idea. Like, I mean, and again, I don't know about the reboot thing. Like, I don't think it's a reboot. It sounds like, they're gonna, because I think what people are getting confused about, like, I don't even know if they know what they're gonna do as far as like, are they going to mention the other Final Destination films as a tie-in, or are they just gonna put it on its own separate piece of land and say, okay, well, this is Final Destination, but they're not going to mention what happened.
I think that's the way to go, and it's the choice of a new generation.
It's not providing knowledge.
but they also promise that it's not going to be a cash grab at all. Like, this is going to have its own feel, its own identity. So
that's going to be interesting to see whether or not that holds true. I hope it does, because the last thing we need is another bullshit Final Destination movie where you're like, the last three, they're fun to go see in the movie theater just to see the unique ways that they're going to kill off people, and that's really what it became. I want to see like an actual serious take on it, like they did with Final Destination 1.
Yeah, like
that'd be awesome. Like Final Destination 1 was fucking amazingly good. And even the second one, it had some problems, but it was still pretty well done.
Yeah, and we're going to get into that because the whole thing about Final Destination is they created a new way to kill people, basically. So then you go into the sequels, and it's all about, what crazy set pieces are going to come up, how crazy, what kind of wild fucking cuckoo shit are you going to do to kill people, yeah. And it became the attraction for the movie. But the other part of the Final Destination news is that Jeffrey Reddick was talking to Consequence of Sound, and actually the original idea that they had for Final Destination, the version we never saw, as we like to say, was completely fucking different from that.
It was weird. And it was dark.
When we explain this to you, it's crazy because does it sound darker and scarier and more horrific? Yes, it does. But you gotta remember at the same time, had they went this route, you wouldn't have gotten that cool, wild, fucking crazy kills thing that kind of has Final Destination has built their background on. So here's what he said. He said, in my original version, since death had messed up the first time, it couldn't just kill the people. It basically exploited their biggest fears and drove them to suicide. The writer also reveals how many of the characters would have been killed in this early draft of the story. Alex Browning's best friend, Todd, one of them hung himself in their garage after calling his father to apologize for stealing from him. Carter jumps in front of a train to commit suicide, haunted by visions of his dead girlfriend vomiting out her intestines.
You should have had that curry, bitch. I told you not to order it. But no, look, here's the thing. Look, you know what it does feel like? The way it's described, especially about these people being haunted, there's one particular thing in there about a girl has visions of her dead sister, and she starts even dressing like her sister and trying to act like her sister. It's fucking mentally, it's fucked. Like, it's crazy.
She ends up setting herself on fire to kill herself.
On fire! That girl is on fire!
He called the shit poop!
But, here's the thing about it. Like, it's crazy to think, it has a lot of elements of Jacob's Ladder. Where in Jacob's Ladder, the survivor in it, Tim Robbins, is haunted by the ghosts of the people in Vietnam that he didn't die with. And they're like, you fucking should have died in this hoe. And he was like, no, I didn't, because I got out. But he has haunting visions all the time, and they're scary. And it's kind of also like sometimes they come back. It's kind of the same thing with that. And I mean, it's not like it's not uniquely new, because it's been done. That kind of thing has been done before. But if you're thinking about a Final Destination and kids, like teens, are offing themselves and they're doing it in horrendous ways, I think overall, like, I like the way the Final Destination movie turned out. I think that it's a cool fucking movie. But if you saw that, you know, like kind of like for me, when you see The Grudge or The Ring or something, it would fucking be more disturbing to see overall, and it'd be one of those movies that is remembered differently. And I think that like maybe possibly it might not even have gone on to more campy shit throughout the series.
Yeah, it's hard to tell because you're talking about back when Final Destination came out, right? So back when Final Destination came out, horror movies were different. Like, and so that movie turned out to be a scary movie, but it's a popcorn scary movie, right? Like it's like, fuck.
It was like a cool scary movie.
Yeah, like that.
Like Scream or something.
This is more along the lines like Hereditary and shit like that, like deep horror, like teens killing themselves in awful ways and having these horrible visions.
Stay away from telephone poles. Stick your fucking head out the window.
Yeah, don't eat anything with peanuts in it. If you have a peanut allergy, for God's sake, Jesus, that still fucks me up. That he just went up to his room and went to sleep, and then he woke up to the screen
because it was just so fucking weird. Like, my fucking sister's head fell off.
Yeah, dude, you wake up and you have to be hear your mom scream, and then you're like, oh fuck, what did I do last night?
Dude, that's what I would be like. Because there's one of those moments that you get caught in time, and you're like, oh my God, I'm fucking drunk, and my fucking sister's head fell off. I'm just gonna go to bed tomorrow. It gets better.
Yeah,
I'll wait till the sunlight hits the day. And it'll be okay.
Doesn't at all. And then you slam your face against a desk, and then then your dad gets caught on fire, and your mom's climbing the ceiling, and then there's old man cock in the treehouse across the street. I've seen it 1,000 times.
Yeah, but her mom was rocking the shit out of some kind of fucking cool ass music. It was like she was like on AC/DC high.
But not just that, but the character Clear that was played by Ali Larter in the movie. The original ending, one of the ideas they had for it was that she was going to be. So you think that she's going to die at the end of the movie, and you think that all's lost, but then she finds out she's pregnant, and somehow, based on the rules of death and all this shit, because she has an innocent life inside of her, she's not going to die. So you think the movie's going to end in a nice way, but then at the very end of the movie, they're in the hospital, she has the baby, and then all of a sudden you see
the lights go out.
Yeah, the lights go out. There's like a Grim Reaper situation, and the studio was like, no, we can't have teens killing themselves.
But Devon Sawa was always going to be the original survivor. Like, he didn't die.
A dark figure comes into the delivery room, and you realize now that the baby's born, she's a goner. Alex is the only.
Do you know who that is?
Who?
That's the insurance adjuster saying, do you have fucking your are you caught up?
That's that bill collector.
That's who that is. It's like, guess what? You're going to owe about $95 million for your hospital stay. Do you have that money? Like, no.
Dude, it's wild to think about how different Final Destination could have been. And that's a question we have for you guys. Okay, now that you've heard
Let me ask you a question. If you had, like, first of all, I want to know who the baby daddy is, or we're going to call Maury in here right now. But maybe it was Maury Povich. That's who it was, that dark figure. But second, would that have been I know in the movie, I got to go back and watch that movie again because that movie's fucking awesome. But like they show the shadow part, like anything like bad happens or right before death happens, you see like a shadow kind of thing, and it starts creating the setting for death to actually cause death. But you never actually saw death at all. Like, a lot of people assume Tony Todd was death, which I hope he comes back for the reimagining or whatever. But they assumed he was the guy, or maybe he was an embodiment or something of it. But you never saw death. But they're saying a dark figure enters the room.
Yeah.
So it's like, are they gonna do like some Mothman shit where he's like, he knew, and he's gonna be standing in like all fucking hunked up and weird in the doorway?
Well,
like,
it even says here that the studio wanted to go with the unseen force. So I think they would have. He would have been like the black smoke monster.
I don't want to see that shit. Put that shit out. Like, I don't want to see that.
You know what no one's ever really done though, in my opinion, like other than obviously Death from Bill and Ted or some shit here and there, but no one, not that I can think of off the top of my head, I can't think of a single movie where they really made a badass, cool, like skeleton fucking Grim Reaper.
Yeah, I can.
What?
Scrooged.
No, I mean like scary though.
He was scary.
No, he wasn't. I mean,
he had a fucking TV face, and he had like little kids in his fucking ribs.
Full blown horror movie. You see him. He's the Michael Myers, like not a slasher movie, but he's the guy who shows up and kills people. I'm sure there are, but I can't think of any.
I think it's because I don't know that movie, like the black and white movie where Death was hunting the guy. I can't remember that fucking movie, but I think it's always because it's so cheesy. The idea that like it's just it's like Michael Myers or something, or Jason Voorhees being Death incarnate and hunting you down. Like, I don't know.
But I think you can make that scary as fuck, though. I know there's a Monty Python film where they had Death. That was just funny, though. But
if he comes to me when I was married, I'd be like, welcome home. I will go with you, sir.
But yeah, so that's the question for you guys. Would you have rather had the version, the darker version of Final Destination that Reddick's talking about here, where you got teens killing themselves? And again, images of people's dead sisters vomiting out their own intestines. Goo! Goo!
You gotta be careful with that
throwing
secret menu
themselves
item from Rallies.
in front
Or
of
Checkers.
trains. And setting themselves on fire in these fucked up scenarios, or would you stick with what we got with the Final Destination? That's kind of fun, kind of cheesy, but popcorn.
Yeah, it's just so crazy. It's like, because I fucking can't stand it. I miss her so much. And you're dunking fucking gasoline? Like, you think the gasoline would immediately... I know, but the gasoline smell would be like, oh shit, that's gasoline. What the fuck am I doing? I'm not gonna do this.
You remember Halloween 3 when the suited guy goes out to the car and he's like...
It's like, you know what I'll do? I was stupid. I poured gasoline on me. I'm gonna have a cigarette and I'll be okay. And then like light it up. Anyway, it's just always been insane. Like, I know, but the person's crazy and they're like racked by torment and guilt. So I get it. But I mean, anyway... It would have been. It's hard to say what I really do love Final Destination, man. It's such a cult classic. It's not even a cult classic. It's just a classic fucking movie that came out during the 90s. Like, I don't know if I really want them to, like, a darker toned Final Destination. I don't know.
Also, we're not talking about a horror movie. Like, if they made that story today and it came out today,
yeah,
it would be really serious. It would be fucking super dark.
I don't think it would ever get made.
And it would be A24 style fucked up.
I don't think they'd ever make it.
No. The teens killing themselves would get made today. That's what I'm saying. Like, it would be an A24 fucked up dark movie. Now, if they made that movie in the 90s, I don't think it would exactly be what we think it's going to be. They could have tried to make a scary movie, but we're talking about in the years of Final Destination, what kind of horror was coming out back then? It was all popcorn horror. It was all kind of like, you know, fun little, there's a fun edge to it or whatever. They could have done that and it could be a horrible, forgettable. They tried to take it seriously and it was just a joke like so many movies back then were. That could have been terrible, but what do you guys think? What would you have rather seen? You stick with Final Destination today or you want to go with the dark and creepy shit?
I want Devon Sawa.
Always Devon Sawa.
Devon Sawa.
Night of the Twisters for life, goddammit. I keep tweeting him that. I'm like, dude, I fucking love Night of the Twisters.
It's great. It like, they literally showed it to you in fucking like any class, social studies class, English class. Like, now you need to learn this because if you ever have a tornado, this is what you got to do. It's like, you got to be Devon Sawa.
That's an underrated fucking Twister movie, man.
Yeah, but you know, obviously Twister itself is fucking fantasticals.
Twister's the Quintuocho.
Yeah.
But Night of the Twisters.
Yeah. Night of the Twister is like when you first join karate and you get that yellow and orange belt shit, and then you get the Twister, and that's like black. Like, that's like Bruce Lee black belt level shit.
Yeah.
But it's still good. You got to get there first and then go there.
There were so many Twisters at once.
There's so many.
And his fucking dad was.
But you know what there weren't?
Because he couldn't win that bike race.
But you know what there wasn't?
What?
A twist ending.
Fuck you.
Mm-hmm. We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie. We watched it. We watched a movie.